Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with Amy Shine. Hello, Amy. Welcome. And
Hi.
I'm so happy you are the first guest, the kickoff guest. Actually, a launching of this series. We just made a little short video about an hour ago with Sarah Andrews, who I work with, and the idea and inspiration was created through her and me joining in, etc. And you being my first guest, and most of you know Amy Shine. She may not know need introducing, but I still will do. She's an Access Consciousness certified facilitator, lives in Florida. We're both Floridians, adapted homes from different parts of the world. And apart from being a certified facilitator, she has also a lot of specialty classes that she is doing, right? Right, joy of business, talk to the entities. I don't know, maybe I missed something else, but she's also a
3-day
dancer.
body.
Oh, 3-day body class. Yes. She also does 3-day body classes. So she's a 3-day body class facilitator. She is awesome about bodies. She's a dancer. I adore her videos about bodies and dancing. And now we are starting this conversation about perspectives on presumptive and reactive realities. And I want to ask you, Amy, since this topic came out, what have you been experiencing and noticing, becoming aware of in many areas of your specialty, maybe, and your life? How does it work for you? Is there like a striking realization, like, oh my God, I have been using this here and without realizing? That kind of a experience did you have recently?
Yeah. So let's like for people to know, like a presumptive reality is where you've already like pre-assumed this is what is.
Yeah,
So whenever you're like, this is how this person is, presumptive reality.
yeah.
Men always cheat on women, presumptive reality. Women are emotional, presumptive
Hmm.
reality. Like it's like whenever you have like this fact, that's all there is. Nothing can change that. That's presumptive reality. And then we create all these reactional realities based on that. So
Hmm.
then, if your presumptive reality is life is hard, you got to work hard, life is a struggle, then you spend your whole life creating that because you've already put that in motion. You've already
Hmm.
put that in place. So you could, change lots of things in your life, but if your core presumptive reality is life is difficult, life is hard, I must work hard, doesn't matter what you choose, that
Yeah,
you've already decided and determined that is a fact, and then you've already put that reality in place.
yes,
So a lot of the things that you haven't been able to change are most likely presumptive realities. So
yeah.
you have to actually start looking at, okay, what is like this thing that I've decided is a fact. And a lot of us, like you said, you don't even realize, like, I didn't even know like I had that as a reality, because sometimes we come
Hmm.
in with presumptive realities from other lifetimes, all the other lifetimes you've embodied here. How many lifetimes have you been a man? How many lifetimes have you been a woman? How many presumptive realities do you have from all those lifetimes,
Yes.
determining your relationship now as a man, as a woman? And then you also adopt presumptive realities from your family, from your culture. Like, how many times did you hear your mother say, that's just how it is? That's just how those
Hmm.
people are. That's just how money is here. That's just, you must
Hmm.
just do this like that. And so
Hmm.
you're sold this, like, hey, welcome to the world. Here's all these presumptive realities, and this is how the world is here, and that's it. It's not
Yeah.
changeable. That's a fact. And then we spend our whole life with these reactive realities, which I would say the reactional realities has been assisting me a lot, because I've lived
Hmm.
in reaction.
Yeah.
And like, do you have you ever been in situations where you're with someone and you find yourself reacting to something, but you really don't want to react?
Hmm.
And it's like, this isn't even like, really, this isn't even relevant to me. I'm not even mad, but I feel like I need to react, and here I am now fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm starting to, what for me was like, how many people need a reaction or reality to you? And then you being psychic, SpongeBob, aware
Mm-hmm.
in the universe, giving them what they need, which is a reaction.
Exactly. You said it so beautifully. It actually, your whatever reaction you have gives you a clue about your perceptions of others, as well as sometimes your presumptive realities. Needing to react to a person is a presumption anyway, and they act on their own presumption realities about you, maybe, or something else that you trigger in them, and this reaction goes between them and you, and it just creates a catch 22 that you cannot get rid of. And sometimes we do the interesting point of view, but when you realize the underlying presumption, how much change does that bring instead of the just looking at the point of view itself?
Yeah, like interesting point of view is that place where you're in allowance, right? Where you're like, okay,
Hmm.
interesting point of view, this person thinks I'm a bad person. Interesting point of view, they have all these judgments of me. Interesting point of view, I have the point of view, I don't want them to think that about me. That all gets you to the place where you have allowance for their point of view. But if you don't have that, you are in reaction. Whenever you're not in allowance, whenever you're not being interesting point
Yeah.
of view, you're in reaction. And
Hmm.
most of us spend our whole lives living from this reactional reality because this whole world functions from this reactional reality.
Hmm.
Somebody dies, you're supposed to react to it.
Yes.
You fall in love, you're supposed to have a reaction to that. You split up a relationship, you're supposed to have a reaction to that. There's supposed to be a reaction to everything to prove you're right or you're
Mm.
wrong,
Exactly.
or the other person's right or the other person is wrong. When you don't have the reaction reality, that's when you have allowance. And in that space, either the person has to
Yeah.
change or they go away. So
True.
when you don't give them the reaction that they need from you, they either leave or they have to change.
True. Do you have any tips for the listeners to realize, to be aware where they are in reaction, and how they can catch their own presumptive realities? Do you have a go-to tool or a question?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you find yourself saying like this is what is, or this is how it is, or this is how this person is, or
Hmm.
this is how money is, or that's a presumptive reality. So catch yourself when you start saying things like whenever you have something as a fact, it's a presumptive reality. Even
Hmm.
like, I need to sleep 8 hours a day, presumptive reality.
Yes.
You're 8 hours a day. So you can find yourself catching yourself saying these things and then go, okay, is this a presumptive reality? Have I decided that this is a fact? Who did I buy this from? Did
Hmm.
I adopt this from someone else? Did I come in from other lifetimes with this presumptive reality? Is it really true?
Yes.
What is the value in having this as a presumptive reality? Does this presumptive reality create greater for me? Because presumptive realities aren't wrong. You can use presumptive
Mhm.
realities to your advantage too.
Yes.
So if you look at someone, take like a person, maybe a really wealthy person, someone who always has money, who always has it, never is without money. Their presumptive reality is money will always show up for me.
Hmm.
That's a great presumptive reality to have.
Exactly.
You
Just
know,
like a great point of view.
so
Well,
are you?
yeah, when we talk in Access about interesting point of view, we always also say that use the points of view to your advantage. And just like that, use the presumptive realities to your advantage. If something is working for you, there's no need to change. Once the topic comes up, sometimes the presumption is that they have to clear everything about the presumptive reality, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What if your presumptive reality was you always had the best orgasms in the world?
yes.
You know, what if you could like look at, is this presumptive reality a possibility or
Hmm.
creating impossibilities.
Beautiful.
And
Be-
then yeah, and then the so if it's actually creating greater for you, you won't actually have a reaction reality to it. Like someone
Totally.
who has a point of view, like money is always there for me, money always shows up, I always have it. That's just the reality they're creating. They're not in reaction to that. Now, someone who has a point of view of like, I need money, I need more, I need more, I need more, and maybe tries to, control people with money, that is a reaction.
Yes.
They're using money as to get a reaction from other people. Like, people who use their money to try and control other people. That's like the need for reaction reality. So it's like you can observe that and then look at what would I like to choose here.
Beautiful.
And then the need for reaction realities, what I'm finding really helps me with that is asking, especially with other people, is asking like,
Hmm.
what is there if I find myself, especially like if you find yourself like having ease with yourself in one moment and the next moment being in reaction. And when you're in reaction is whenever you're in reaction is when you don't have ease.
Hmm.
So when you have, your heart starts to palpitate, you start to get angry, you start to get frustrated, you feel contracted, you're in a reaction. So if it's like you're feeling good one moment and the next minute you talk to someone and all of a sudden you have this reaction come up inside you and you'll feel it in your body first before you even open your mouth, right?
Hmm.
You'll feel it like the reaction inside your cells. And and then what I would ask is what is, and even if you do react, like even if you give them the reaction they want, when you walk away, like sit with yourself and just ask, instead of judging yourself, sit with yourself and ask, okay, all right, I reacted to them. What
Hmm.
was their need for reaction reality for me? Oh,
Hmm.
they needed me to be upset, or they needed me to cry to show them that I cared, or they needed me to feel less than so they could feel better then. And then
Hmm.
you're like, okay, all right, I gave it to them. Now what? Like, what else could I choose here? So
Beautiful.
rather
Without.
than judging yourself, you can start to really become aware of how many people are functioning from this place and how much you've been unconsciously autopilot going in and just giving people the reaction they're looking for.
Beautiful. And yeah, how aware are we? Totally. And how much, this was also a catch 22 before this topic came out. Every time I had a reaction without realizing that I was really feeding them with what they needed, I was making myself wrong. I'm the one conscious here. Why am I reacting to this? And that it should have been an interesting point of view, but I could not. I just reacted to it. And once this topic came out, just like you said, it's like, oh my God, how much am I in this person's world and doing the interaction through their presumptive realities? And this has become such a gift. I don't know, probably you would say the same thing, and made my life so much easier in such a short period since these two topics came out. And if our presumptive reality is okay, all of life is easy for me, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, keep that and use that to your advantage. There's nothing wrong with it. And everything that is not you will show them itself to you, either will constrict you or cause a reaction in you, whatever that, anything that takes you out of being ease, joy, and glory shows you where you're functioning from. And how beautiful is that we have the tools, the questions, and the clearing statement to clear any energies. And thank you so much, Amy, for that. Is there anything, just before we leave, you would say presumptive realities about bodies? Because you're so uh, great with bodies. I want to get your perspective on reaction and presumptive realities with bodies before you leave.
Well, what in particular? Because like bodies is such a big topic.
Yeah, whatever pops up in your world, like judgment of bodies or looking at bodies with
Well, if you
expectation.
look at people in the world and how many people are creating their bodies from the presumptive reality that their body is wrong and they need to
Mhm.
fix their change and fix it from the wrongness of it. And how many
Yes.
people have the presumptive reality that their body is fun and joyful and are enjoying having a body?
Yes.
So, what would you like to choose with your body? You can
Hmm.
continue on the path of my body is wrong and I must fix it and judge it in order to fix it. Or you can start looking at what is a different reality I could have with my body. And similar to what we just said, like, I actually did a call clearing your presumptive realities with bodies. I did one
Hmm.
clearing your presumptive realities with money. And this week I'm doing clearing your presumptive realities with men.
Yes.
Yeah. But the body one was like the biggest one I did. Like it had the most people sign up. And one of the things I talked about on that call was similar to what I talked about you there. Like, take the topic of aging, right? The presumptive
Hmm.
reality is very intense in this reality that your body ages. It's an intense presumptive reality that's really heavily projected onto you, that you age, your body decays, you get decrepit, you get saggy skin, you get gray hair, you get wrinkles. That's a presumptive reality. What I would say with that is like, look around you and ask, okay, who isn't functioning from that presumptive reality? Is there anyone I know or anyone I could meet that could show me a different possibility here? And then if one, like, and even if one person you see has a different energy, look at what's their presumptive reality. And I was talking to someone in a body class recently, and she said,
Hmm.
she said her mother, her aunts, none of them have aged. None of them have gotten gray hair. None of them have gotten wrinkles. Like they're ageless. But their presumptive reality is aging isn't a reality for us. That doesn't happen to us.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's similar, like I have a client who's in her 70s, and she told me that after menopause, she got more orgasmic, has better sex and orgasms, and is wetter than she is after menopause in her 70s. So
Oh,
that's
that's
her
awesome.
presumptive reality. So I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I'm duplicating that.
And that is an example of what your point of view creates your reality. Wonderful. And
Exactly.
what are you going to choose?
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Amy, for being here. It was a delight to talk to you and get your perspective on it, and see you on next adventures. And yes, I have seen that it's this week, right? She has an amazing telecall coming up, Presumptive Realities about men.
Yeah.
You can follow her and see the details of her class soon.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
See
much.
you.
Bye.
Bye.